My dad, he was a terrific man, none better. Straight and honest as the sun. But he was a very, very fair. And he was afraid of nothing. Now, in Westport, during the troubled times in Westport back in the early 20s, my father bought a place out in Leenane called The Rock. And my brother, that Paddy that owned, that was in it, he just died last May, 93. Poor Paddy is gone. He was the youngest of us four lads. I was the oldest boy, Paddy was the youngest. We had Rosie, Mary, Kathleen and Rosie was older than me, and then there was me, and then there was Sean, Teddy and Paddy, and poor Paddy is after dying. He was 68 when he died. So that's it. His wife is there now, and I hope she can make it. But I was home for his funeral, and I had been home the year before, and I had to go back again for his funeral. So my father, in the olden house, and when the house he bought, like in the Rock, the old house, it had a thatched roof, and there was a license in that house for all going way back. There was a public house license there. So he bought that thing and he started up a shop, and a country shop. You could buy shoes in it, or you could buy a raincoat in it, or you could buy ropes, paraphernalia, whiskey, Guinness stout, tobacco, eggs, bread, tea, you name it. Country shop. He had everything there. And when he had some people in, and somewhere or another a butt of a cigarette got in amongst some bags or something, and 2 o'clock in the morning my father woke up. We were in Westport at the time. He was out by himself there, and he used to be in and out, you see. And when he'd go into Westport, he'd have my aunts take care of the place while he was gone. And then when he'd come out, and they'd go up home again, so 2 miles away. But Dad woke up in his bed choking because the room was full of smoke. The house was on fire. Half the house was burnt. It came as far as the shop and into the parlour, and then there was a solid wall there where the kitchen fireplace went up. There was a solid wall there that held back the heat, you see. And but of course the roof was on fire above. But anyways, Dad jumped out of bed and he ran up through the kitchen, and he opened the parlour door, and when he did, the whole roof on that section above the chimney, the whole roof came in. The whole place was gutted. So like he had given out an awful lot of credit to poor people. They come there with a sad story, and he get them whatever they needed, hoping that they'd pay him back sometime later, but as soon as they get it. But anyways, his books were burned, his stock was burned, everything went up in smoke. So anyways, the people, he built the place up again anyways, and after a year or so, and the people told him, the honest ones told him, that they owed him so much and that they would pay him back as soon as they could, little now and little again. So he thanked them for that. But then there was the wise ones, the dishonest ones, and they didn't come near him. And of course they knew his books were burned, so he had no proof. The ledger was gone, the day book was gone, so the whole thing, he suffered an awful loss. And then I saw my father there in the rock, and he'd go out to a funeral, and he'd come back in, and I heard him saying on a couple of occasions to my mother, he'd say, "Missy, I forgave her the debt." Some woman that he went out to her funeral and that owed her money, and as soon as she died, he forgave her the debt. And I heard him, and another time he come into my funeral like that, and he told my mother again, "Missy, I forgave him the debt." There's some man that died this time. And as they were dying out, Dad was forgiving every one of them. He wouldn't stop anyone going into heaven. So he forgave them the debt. And even though it was years and years, they could have paid, but they didn't. But he still forgave them. And there was only one man that lived that owed Dad a big bill. And he was younger than my father. And he lived into his late 80s, this man did. But my father was 97 when he died. So he was dead before this particular man. So when I got a letter from home telling me about such a man had died, and I knew he owed the bill to Dad, so I said to myself, like up in the bed at night, in my father's name, calling him by his name, the man, in my father's name, I said, "I forgive you the debt." So that cleared him, the debt he owed my dad.